Ask. He's got about 10 minutes before he's got some stuff to do. So.
When the Bowling Green president came over and stood next to you, what did you have her by? What did you have her by? About
2 feet.
2 feet?
Yeah, I think she's 4'11", I'm 6'11". But dynamic person. I'd heard that before she was short in stature, but tall in all other areas.
How long had it been since you'd been back to Bowling Green?
You know, I was back about 8-10 years ago with my wife to show her the campus. Again, Jay Myers set that up and met us, and my wife was really impressed with BG. And this trip back in, she, you know, has grown quite a bit since the 10-year period that we haven't been here. So, and then I was here once before that. So, you know, I've been in and out, and hopefully I'll be able to come back to see the new Stroh's Center.
What are some of your emotions today? Seeing that video, seeing some of the players you played with and other generations of Falcon players, and then closing down this arena?
Well, there's no question I'm a kind of emotional guy, and I was trying to hold back the tears out there. I didn't even try to look at my notes. I'm glad I could remember what I wanted to say. You know, just there's no question some of my best years, and like I said, the blossoming years here. I came here at 18 and left at 22, and just so many great memories, so many friends that I met here, some people I'm still in touch with. You know, Howard Comize, unfortunately passed away, but you know, I've been able to strike up a little bit of a relationship with his son, Shane. My roommate, just a tremendous guy, Elijah Chapman, died when he was 30 years old. You know, some of the other guys that were here, Bobby George, Billy Reynolds, on and on. And again, like I said, I'm kind of an emotional guy, and you know, the arena smells the same as it did when I was here. And I was in the locker room during the game. I went to the locker room, and you know, everything is basically the same. I mean, and it just brings back a lot of emotion.
Do you remember the first time you met Harold Anderson?
Yes. First time I met Harold Anderson was on a Saturday afternoon. I would interject that my high school coach, Joe Siegfried, was a player here, and he, you know, I had been to Ohio State, I'd been to Kent State on a visit, and when I came here and met Harold Anderson and Mrs. Anderson, it was like a very fatherly image. We had a nickname. We called him Blinky. I don't know if you guys are probably too young, but he had a twitch in his eye, and behind his back we called him Blinky. But we respected him, and good coach. But again, a fatherly image. And I came from a family with mother, father, grandmother, and grandfather, always in the same house. I remember going to other people's houses, and I'd say, "Where's your grandmother?" Because my grandmother and grandfather always lived with us. But anyway, it was just it was a nice transition to see an older gentleman who cared more about a person than he did about the basketball, in my opinion.
What are your impressions of that basketball team that you saw out there on the court today?
I'm sorry?
What do you think of that team that you saw out there today, Bowling Green?
Hmm? I'm sorry?
I'm just wondering what you thought of the basketball team today you saw at Bowling Green.
Oh yeah, well, I think they're well coached. I understand that they're fairly young. You know, they have a couple seniors on the team, whatever. So, you know, Louis Orr played in the league, and you know, he has a lot of experience and knowledge. And I think that that they, to me, basketball players are made during the summer. So if these guys want to work, then they can have a pretty good team here in the next couple of years.
I don't remember particularly. Did you ever play against Lewis in the league?
Yes.
Did you?
Yes.
Okay. You got any memories from those meetings?
No. He played with New York, and when you go to New York, you know, there's a lot of things going on in the garden and blah blah blah. I don't think he dunked on me, so you know, hopefully not. Anyway.
You went into the Hall of Fame at the same time as Coach Anderson did. How big a moment was that for you to have your mentor go in to the Basketball Hall of Fame at the same time you did?
Well, that was unbelievable. You know, the recognition for him long overdue, and certainly for me, being selected to the Hall of Fame was a major plus in my career, because unfortunately, I went to the finals twice but didn't win it in the NBA, and so being inducted with Harold, you know, a guy that made me into the player that I became, or had a lot to do with that, it was very special.
As a kid growing up a Cavs fan, I can't resist asking, would you guys have won the whole thing if Jones hadn't got hurt the one year?
There was no question about it. Now you're gonna really make me cry. You know, if you remember those days, we had the best record in the league the second half of the season. We had everything that we needed, and I remember, and we didn't fear anybody. And the eventual winner was Washington won it that year. Not Washington. I'm sorry. We beat them, Boston. We could have beat Boston. There's no question about it. But anyway, when Jones hurt his foot in that practice, I'm saying to myself, the way they carried him off, I'm saying he's not going to make it. Didn't know it was broken until we got in the locker room. But it was a crushing blow to me, because I was at the end of my career, and here was a situation where I had fit in with a young team, brought some experience and some maturity, and I thought that I was going to be able to get me a ring. And the Jones breaking his foot just crushed all that.
Nate, have you thought about when it's going to actually hit you that this building is not going to have basketball anymore? Have you thought about, I mean, it's
Well,
the last day, but...
You know, I think that I try to be progressive in my thinking, to the point that time moves on. You know, I'm fortunate enough to, you know, I'll be 70 years old in July, and I'm fortunate enough 51 years to see this arena stand, and I'm sure they'll probably be used for something else. So, you know, I look at it as progress. The new arena will have its flavor. It will have its nights that will roar, and there'll be some more outstanding players. I'm really proud of the fact that there are maybe 10 players or more who left this school and went on to the NBA. And Louis Orr asked me to maybe speak to his players, and that's what I would say to them. I would say that it doesn't matter where you play. If your talent is there, it will be seen. And again, players are made in the summer. Butch Comey's, the floor should be worn out. The rim should be a different color, because he shot so many jump shots by himself in this gym. As a matter of fact, he is the one who started me to paying more attention to practice. There was nobody, I never seen anybody practice as much as Butch Comey. So my point again is, all these young players here, you think about BG, and a lot of people around the country don't know about BG, but the pro scouts know. And even if they don't go that far, they're going to get a good education. So it was an excellent choice for me.
We got time for one question.
How much attention do you pay to the program, like checking scores, anything like that, on a daily basis?
How much, huh?
How much attention do you pay to the program on a normal weekly basis? Do you check scores? Do you keep up with stuff like
Well,
that?
I was telling Jane that, you know, living in San Francisco, we don't get a lot of news about BG. I got to tell you that now. And I'm not computer literate, so I have to confess that. So I think that, you know, maybe some of the information I get is a week, 2 weeks old, whatever. But I am in touch with Jane, and she tells me about it. And a couple of times I knew that they were playing in my area. BG came out to California a couple of times. But you know, being here at Anderson Arena is certainly been a cap for me this afternoon.
All right, thank you guys.